Hi folks, this is a lovely photograph taken from a local park called Nonsuch Park, very famous because of its association with Anne Boleyn and Elizabeth I, very old. This is by Julian Heath. He's a local Carshalton artist and he takes some wonderful pictures. I'm not a good, I'm just going to plug this into the juice and then we'll have a go at something like it. I do have his permission to work from it. I won't do a copy. Alright, I'll just I'll lower the horizon a bit. And I'll move the central trees to one side. It's too close to the middle, which is not a good thing for a painting anyway. So we'll reconstitute, but I'll do a different sky. But I was so knocked out by the meadow, and I've been painting lots of meadows lately, which I love, and I'm using Winton oils, the student quality. So we've got cadmium yellow pale, cadmium yellow deep, yellow ochre, cadmium red and blue. So basically 5 colours. I've added black to extend the greens and a short cut, and white of course. And I'm using some flow medium. I'm just using it up really. Before I go back fully to alkyd. And I'm going to look out for a largish bottle of fast drying oil. They come in these silly little bottles that are expensive and they're not the best way to buy it, so I'll go on to eBay later and have a look, see what we can come up with. Right, okay, I've set the picture, got my cloth, got my tool, I'll finish my tea, so we'll start. I've got to move my water. I've got a big pot of water here, and I keep dipping my oil brush into it because I'm so used to doing watercolours and acrylic. So we'll start with the background. So I'm going to use a bit of blue, and a bit of black, and a lump of yellow for my background. My trees, my distant trees. Now these will be changed, so we'll put them to one side a bit. And I hope this will dry. I'll probably not put it far enough. Oh well, I'll wait then, start again. Having said what I said, let's start there. And my horizon is now lower. So this is just an initial lay-in. I've never been to a Nonsuch Park. I've been past it many times on my way to Ewell and Epsom and places. I need that just a bit darker. And then we just come up here over the horizon. But it is a lovely park, I know. I sit from the outside, so I will go there one day. I live probably 5 miles from it. But we've got our own local parks in Wellington and Carshalton, which is my sort of territory. So let's just come across here and a bit more blue in there, and then so it gives a background to a bit of shadow in there. So that's our basic lay-in. I hope the sound is okay on that. I can't adjust that one well, I can't adjust that at all. We'll just put this as a bit higher up here, but I don't want it to compete with the middle section. It's like a poplar tree there. I'll make that a bit better when we come to it. You put the sky in. I will paint over this a bit. Right, okay, so that's a bit too even, isn't it? But we will change that, I think. Let's just lift out some of that there. Just make it a little bit. But I don't want to copy. I love the design of it. But he does some wonderful photography. So that dark there, that'll do for counter changing the lovely meadow grass. And I might even paint the foreground black first, which I did the other day. Quite effective. Plenty of oil. If you're new to oil painting, don't try to get the tube paint to spread without a bit of lubrication. It doesn't work unless you're working very thick and expensively, but you don't have to have thick impasto, but it's nice. It's lovely doing knife paintings. Right, I'll let that dry for a bit. I'm just going to start the foreground. I want to put plenty of black in that, so we'll have black, blue, just a dark colour, even a dark green, with a bit of red in. Okay, so let's just come down here. Let's just paint it in. The reason I do this is to give a counter change possibility. That means the effects of light paint on dark underpainting, or the other way round. The darker it is, the lighter the lights show, and we've got a lot of light grass on there, so we want to be able to enhance that. And this oil is fast drying, but I do like the fast drying oil, linseed oil. I used to use it a lot when I was painting Venice stuff. So it's sort of dark enough. Let's go to a bit more black and red. The red, although it's very dark, you can't see this red. The red of the burnt sienna is showing through, and red is a complement to green. So if you want something to look brilliant against for red, stick it against a lightish green. And we're going to do all of that. Right, I'll just clean that brush. Let's find another brush and start working in the sky. Now what sort of sky? Well, I'm just going to go over with a grey. I like grey, but since we've got some lovely flowers, in this meadow, we want a sort of a sunny day, don't we? We don't want it all drab. Oops. Sorry about this sound, I just like to tighten it up a bit at the back. Okay. Just an initial coat. Well, I'll build up the colour as I go along. Now, there's a lot of light blue on the horizon. There's also a lot of cloud behind going across. See what I mean? You're going to cover it up. Okay. Bring some sky into the trees. Right, then we'll put in a bit of shadow. So just a touch of red and blue, a bit of white. Just mixing up this a bit of cloud colour for when I put the white in. we just build it up gradually. Quite a bit of greens coming to the sky there, doesn't it? Because I'm going to put some light stuff in. Need plenty of cloth. I'm not cleaning my brushes in between, other than in a toweling, bit of toweling. Just clean the bristles, and I clean them up at the end with small finger. Right, okay, white. Let's have let's have a bit of cadmium yellow light, a bit of red. The cake red is quite strong. So let's just put it. We can model these later on. Take your clouds out of the picture. I'll do them because I don't usually paint this sort of sky. It's not my thing, but I like grey, drab, but with plenty of light. Okay, so there we are. That's a start, isn't it? My horizon's going to be down about there, so I'm going to move back from there. I'm not going to put the trees back in yet. I'm just going to start modelling. I've got this brush here. I've got several of these. I bought them years ago. They're very, very good, but I didn't do them any favours by cleaning them in white spirit, substitute, that sort of stuff. Cleans them, but it damages the bristles, makes them brittle. But if you're going to use solvent, use kerosene, paraffin. That will give a lovely softness to them. But I use this because they're almost in separate bristles. I can tamp, and I can get a lovely ready light to the distant grasses. Plenty of white, bit of red, load of medium. And then we can just sort of come across here. You'll see why I do that black, because that looks much brighter than it would have done. Otherwise you've got to adjust throughout the painting, and just get that on there. We can, as that dries, we can add more to it. Now I love the ready glow to it all. Bring some of your grasses into the trees, into the shadows. Why? The shadow helps the lights and the darks. And we can put light greens into that as well, but I want that ready colour. It's like a sort of an orange. In fact, the cad yellow is deep, is quite on the way to orange, but and there's a lot of that interspersed with different grass, beautiful rich greens, which I should probably use my black in. This is a very shorthand way of doing it, but rather than put every dot in and every little blade, this is the way I found the easiest way to do. And we can put our dark greens in the foreground, our shadowy greens. So just a few in there. Plenty of oil. And all the time of doing this is starting to go a little bit tacky, just a little bit. But also there are those lovely yellow, the buttercups or what, I don't know, yellow flowers, but they seem to be very close up and they're very beautiful. And there's some tall ones. Stuff you get in the meadow, and I'm not a botanical person. I appreciate it, but I don't paint it other than an impression of it. Plenty of oil, bit of black, bit of white. No white. Get that white out of that. The white makes it go grey green, and I didn't really want that. So medium, cad yellow, pale, and a bit of black. But it's the oil that makes this possible. These corners will disappear if it ever gets framed or displayed in a frame. It will, look, add a bit of white to it and you get those. No, I'm not doing white, I'm doing yellow. I'm all for speed. I'm going to put a darker, sunnier yellow in there, I think. Right, go back to the greens. Using the oil, the other colours hopefully will start to show through as it dries. There's dark green in there, so that's where we're going to enhance it. And then we can come in with the lightest greens with a bit of white. Let's just go back over some of that with some reddy. Let's mix red with the ochre. Not bad. That brighter. Okay, it's coming on. You want to put that shadow in the left hand corner and some in the middle there. You've got more depth, so we go for a dark green. A bit of red to it, that'll make it a bit darker. And a bit down the bottom now. Try a bit of blue and red. Sort of clumps of shadow. Then we can put the lighter stuff over that. We don't want black, we want black mixed. Right, let's go back onto the distance. The foreground's going to take most of the time. Well, we'll do a bit of sky, but just to get that working. Right, blue, white, the flow. Soft, keep it all soft. The oil helps to do that. Don't want any hard edges in this. Come down with the lighter blues coming towards the horizon. Plenty of oil. And bit by bit it starts to come together. This is the lower atmosphere. And we can put the trees in later. Get all this in here. A bit of darker blue. So you know it's going tacky when it starts to grab the brush. Okay, now we can go back with some of our lights in there. Clean the brush, get that good drag through the bristles or through the lumps in the towel. Okay, right now, how's the flow medium going? We've still got some left in there. So a bit of white, bit of the this colour in the white. There you look, all soft. Plenty of medium. We could put our heavier lights on towards the end. Take some of your clouds behind the trees. Don't have your clouds going round objects. Take them into objects. Then it looks as if they're actually, there's a 3D effect. Light like that, soften. A bit more white. That's not white really, that's a very light creamy colour. There's always light in clouds. If you hold a piece of white paper up against a white cloud, you'll find that it's much lighter than the cloud. I have to put some more shadow into that. So this has got like a pinky hue. Feather it. And as that dries a bit, we can soften that even more. Let's get rid of those furry bits. Blend it into the sky a little bit. to take clouds off of the page or canvas, whatever you prefer to use. When I sort of soften the edges of that'll be much better. And I want to get something in there. Let's go back with that blue. Let's use some more flow medium, I think. I'm going to put in some cloud shadow here and there. So I'll put that in. So that's just the red, bit of blue, bit of white. It's good stuff, this flow medium, I have to say, but you need a lot of it and it is expensive in these silly little bottles. Anything to make the cloud look brighter with these cloud greys. A good grey, I hasten to add. There's a black and blue. So let's use a bit of black, shall we? Let's have a look, I'll just show you. The black, bit of blue. Just gives a grey. I'm going to have to pour out some more of my expensive medium. It's all a bit bitty at the moment, the sky. It just needs a little bit of a rest. Right, we're coming together. What I'm happening there, that I'm repeating myself, which I don't want to do. So we can alter that. Can put a bit of blue, bit of medium, a lump of white. Let's just use a palette knife, otherwise all my colours are going to end up in the white. Find the palette knife, which I had a while ago. Oh, it's on there. There are frustrating times when you really want to use an expletive when you can't find something you thought you knew where it was. So I'm just going to move a bit of the white on the palette. I can't show you the palette as well. That's just too difficult. I would need a table here. Can you see my hand? I'd need a table there, move the board over, but then if I was using a large piece of board, it still wouldn't fit. So we can't have everything. So let's change the blue on that there. Look at that. I'll put a wispy cloud in there. Lighter on that horizon, coming down towards the horizon, should I say. I'm going to put the trees in next, or reinstate them. So that's coming on. So won't despair about it. We just work until something happens. Now I'll use this brush here. I like this brush for small clouds. I've got some green gone up in there, so what I think of it, I'll just take it out. Right, now then, green. and there's plenty of air in the top of some of these trees. In other words, they're not solid. Poplar going up there. Medium. I do put bits of red into my very dark greens. Just adds a little bit to the green. I remember I said that the complementary colours. If you want something to look green, put it next to something red. You've got to leave some bird holes. I'm going to use a bit of black and red. There's a dark shadow in there. Now I've got to put that right in the middle again, haven't I? Oh well, never mind. I'll put a bigger one over here to drag the eye over a little bit. Okay. And I can put some lights over that. Right, so let's find a bit of light that hasn't dried yet on the palette here. Show some sort of green leaves. The light hitting the tips of the canopy. You can also put flecks of red in as well. That all helps. I've put a bit of dark back in there. Oh, that's a bit of red. You don't want patterns developing. Turner used to put quite a lump of red in his paintings, just catches the eye. But if you do it all over, then your eye's going to go all over. Okay. It's a bit too close to the original, I'm afraid, but that's how it goes. Right, now we'll go back to the reds and the... I'm going to pour some more of this oil on it. So red, yellow, medium. Bit of white in there. More red. I don't think this is cheating, but it can be very effective. And that light's on the horizon. Okay, now clean the brush and get in with the nice yellow. I very rarely use a tube green. I prefer to mix the greens. The cadmium yellow light, and that would be the nearest green. So I want that fairly dark to show up the yellow flowers that I'm going to put in. Where's my colour gone? So I'm going to cover up all that dark, that shadow, but I've got to cover up some. Okay, now we've carefully got to put in some of those lovely yellow flowers. Now that'll do for a yellow flower brush. I hope the sound is still okay. The picture looks okay on the screen. So we've got the brilliant yellow. So I'm going to mix up some white in with that, the yellow, to make it even brighter, and just blob them in. Blob is a technical term. I'll even put in some red ones. They look more like daisies. But I don't do portraits of anything. Just an impression of what is there. All over the place. So we've got some dark bits. We can put a bit of darker yellow in there, up here, where they're sticking up. I'll try to be fairly accurate, but not copying what is on the photograph. But okay, go back to my yellow. Some poppies are going to look really good in that. Right, a bit more white. It's 11:15 already. A very busy weekend, as I'm sure some of you have. We had 50 in for my daughter and her partner's birthdays celebration and their 3rd wedding anniversary. Saturday night, great party. We got to bed about 3 o'clock. So there was no painting on Sunday. Well, I don't anyway, but... Right, okay, I think that will do. That we don't want any more than enough. So let's go back with some poppies. So just a bit of cad red. That always goes down well in the greens. Any other wildflowers in there? There's some tiny little bits of yellow ones, so let's put them in. They're there. I'll use my big brush. Are you sticking up above the parapet there? Not a lot. Yeah, there are some. So I use my darker yellow. Sort of sticking up here and there. There's just a few there, so they all add to the interest. Okay, right, now I'm going to go back up that sky, let that dry off a bit, because I want to put some single bladed grasses in, and I have to do the painting knife, I think, because there'd be too much oil to do it with the fine brush. So let's go back to the sky, get the light. A lot of blue in this brush. Put it in and then I'll blend it a little bit. Right, get that black and blue shadow, I think. I'm sure that's words. It's too blue. A bit better, a little bit darker. Right, go back to the light blue sky now. No, it's not working. I think this medium is very good, but when you get too many colours in what you're dipping it into, it makes it a bit tricky. Right, go back with that shadowy colour. I want to show let's put some light back in there. No, we're losing at the moment. Let's go back with some nice cloud. Same colours that I've been using in the landscape, but much lighter. Right, just a bit of blending out. But I like these things to be soft and fluffy. It's a bit better, that's still bugging me there. That looks very amateurish, that sky, it's a bit, because the rest of it's looking quite good. I'll just let it dry a bit. You see, this is the dipper, look, the colour in the bottom of that. So when I dip it in, I should have a much deeper one really, with a lid. And I do have the very thing. What's going to do? Yeah, knife. So knife, bit of white. Go over a few of these. Oops. quite hard to do that. Don't really like that bit there. So we'll just take that out. Well, I'll let that go now. Right, let's go back to this sky. I'll use a different brush. I'll use a clean for 5 minutes. Bit of medium. Let's see if we can blend all this. Right, have a clean brush there. Right, right, so let's get a little bit of grey. Not dark enough. It just doesn't show against the mid-tone, against the mid-tone. Eventually it will come right. Right, now we'll blend. We'll get some blue back in there. We'll paint out some of that. There's always a time in a picture where you lose it, it's going well, then all of a sudden it sort of runs away from you. But eventually it will come back. Probably because we're trying to put too many clouds in because of the photograph. This is the danger of working with photograph. You end up being a bit literal. Right, now let's go over that with let's have the cleaner blue. We'd better do your own thing. Right, now let's go back with the whitish colour. Sounds like all my bottles going in the dustbin, in the dust cart. We call that at a party. We had someone about 1:30 Saturday night knock on the door saying, "Oh, I've got two big pizzas. I only ordered one, I wanted one, but I've got two, and I hear there's a party going on. Would you like one?" Oh, yeah. We ripped it apart. We're going to be hungry by then. Very nice of them. I have to go and thank them later. They weren't. They live a few doors away from us. We don't know them personally. But it's a very nice gesture. Very friendly. Right, Right, let's just blend all this now. So it goes gradually to the lightest bit of the cloud that's catching the bit of sun on this beautiful day. Right, let's just put those in. It's probably just a little bit of impasto. This is me. Put a little bit in. Right, just give that a little bit of a soften. Then I think I can't do any more. Right, I think I'll just take that middle cloud just off the edge here into infinity. Let's get that. The sunny bit. You never finish a painting. You can always go and fiddle it to death. I like that. Okay, so that's as far as I can go with that. I hope you like the video. I haven't got a mount to put it, I haven't got a frame to put it in. Well, I have, but it's got no picture in. And that's 2 floors away, so I'm reasonably pleased with that. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching, folks. Bye bye.